In a universe governed by complex laws and vast forces, one mind transcended the confines of physical limitations to explore the boundaries of human understanding. Stephen William Hawking, renowned physicist, cosmologist, and author, transformed our grasp of the cosmos while battling a disease that threatened to silence his genius. Born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England, Stephen Hawking was not only a pioneer of theoretical physics, but also an emblem of courage and persistence. Diagnosed with a rare form of motor neuron disease at the age of 21 and given just years to live, he defied medical expectations, turning his trials into triumphs of science and spirit. His groundbreaking work on black holes and the origins of the universe challenged conventional views, reshaping our understanding of the cosmos. Yet he could distill complex scientific ideas into concepts accessible to all that made him a household name. As his physical condition necessitated speaking through a computerized voice, Hawking became an unmistakable figure in science and popular culture. His voice, though synthetic, spoke of the beauty of the universe, the value of human curiosity, and the power of human will. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. These words by Stephen Hawking remind us that the universe isn't just something to be studied, it's something to be experienced. Join us as we embark on a journey through the life of Stephen Hawking, where challenges become opportunities and where the universe, both vast and intricate, is but a playground of the mind. Born on January 8, 1942 in Oxford, England, Stephen Hawking was introduced to a world of academic pursuit and intellectual rigor from the very beginning. His parents, Frank and Isabel Hawking, both attended the University of Oxford, where they studied medicine and philosophy, politics and economics, respectively. Despite financial challenges that once pushed his paternal great-grandmother to open a school in their home to avoid bankruptcy, Stephen's family maintained a deep commitment to education. In 1950, the Hawking family relocated to St. Albans, Hertfordshire, where Stephen's father headed the division of parasitology at the National Institute for Medical Research. It was in St. Albans that the eccentric and intelligent Hawking family became known for their unique household, often quietly immersed in books during meals and traveling in a converted London taxicab. Stephen's academic journey was unconventional. Initially struggling with reading at the Byron House School, he soon found his stride upon entering St. Albans School, where he excelled in his studies and formed lasting friendships. It was here that Stephen, known affectionately as Einstein, began to show a keen interest in science. With the encouragement of his mathematics teacher, Dick Rentata, Stephen and his friends built a computer from scratch, fostering his burgeoning passion for mathematics and physics. At 17, Stephen commenced his undergraduate studies at Oxford. Despite finding the coursework ridiculously easy and feeling somewhat isolated, he eventually embraced university life, joining the college boat club and becoming a well-liked figure in college. His time at Oxford concluded with a first-class BA degree in physics, though not without challenges. Stephen's final exams were a turning point, requiring a viva to secure his first-class honors, a moment where he boldly stated his ambition to continue at Cambridge. At Cambridge, Stephen's first year as a doctoral student was marked by adversity. Assigned to supervisor Dennis Sayama instead of his preferred Fred Hoyle, he initially struggled. Yet, the diagnosis of motor neuron disease in 1963 marked a profound turning point in his life. Faced with a potentially limited time, Stephen was propelled not just by a survival instinct, but by an unyielding desire to answer some of the most fundamental questions posed by the universe. His work began to gain recognition, culminating in his groundbreaking thesis on black holes and the universe's beginnings. By 1966, Stephen Hawking had not only completed his PhD, but had also started to challenge the scientific community with his theories, setting the stage for a remarkable career that would defy the very limits of his diagnosis. In the late 1960s, Stephen Hawking, alongside Roger Penrose, began to extend the singularity theorem concepts he had explored in his doctoral thesis. This groundbreaking work posited that the universe might have originated from a singularity, a theory that reshaped cosmological studies. Their joint efforts culminated in a significant paper in 1970, proving that under the general theory of relativity, if the universe adhered to any of the Friedman models of cosmology, it must have begun as a singularity. This pivotal work was soon recognized as a major scientific milestone. Hawking's fascination with black holes took a new turn in 1970 when he postulated the second law of black hole dynamics, that the event horizon of a black hole can never decrease in size. Alongside James M. Dean and Brandon Carter, he proposed the four laws of black hole mechanics, drawing parallels with thermodynamics. During this period, Hawking also supported the no-hair theorem, asserting that black holes could be completely described by three properties: mass, electrical charge, and rotation. His work laid the foundations for black hole thermodynamics, despite initial controversies over these concepts. Hawking's first major publication, The Large-Scale Structure of Space-Time, co-authored with George Ellis, was released in 1973, further cementing his reputation in the scientific community. By 1973, Hawking had shifted his focus to the integration of quantum mechanics with gravity. Inspired by a trip to Moscow and interactions with prominent Soviet physicists, he began exploring how black holes might emit particles, a notion initially at odds with his earlier theories. This inquiry led to what would become known as Hawking radiation, a revolutionary idea that black holes could emit radiation and might eventually evaporate. This concept was initially met with skepticism but was soon accepted widely, marking a profound breakthrough in theoretical physics. 1974 was a landmark year for Hawking as he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, one of the youngest scientists to receive this honor. His contributions were further acknowledged during his time as a Sherman Fairchild Distinguished Visiting Professor at Caltech, where he deepened his investigations into black holes. At Caltech, Hawking engaged in a friendly wager with Kip Thorne over the existence of black holes, exemplifying his playful spirit and deep commitment to scientific discourse. This period of his career not only advanced our understanding of the cosmos, but also highlighted his unique ability to challenge and redefine scientific boundaries. In 1975, Stephen Hawking returned to Cambridge in a significant role as a reader in gravitational physics, marking the beginning of a period filled with groundbreaking discoveries and increasing public fascination with black holes. Hawking's profound contributions to physics were recognized with numerous awards, including the Eddington Medal, the Pius XI Gold Medal, and several others, reflecting his growing stature in the scientific community. 1979 was a pivotal year when Hawking was elected Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge, a position held centuries earlier by Isaac Newton. His inaugural lecture, intriguingly titled "Is the End in Sight for Theoretical Physics?", captivated the academic world. During this time, Hawking faced a health crisis that introduced significant challenges, prompting him to adopt a more intuitive approach to physics. He famously remarked to colleague Kip Thorne, "I would rather be right than rigorous." In the early 80s, Hawking proposed the information paradox, a revolutionary idea suggesting that information lost in black holes could contradict quantum mechanics. This sparked widespread debate and led to the black hole war with physicists like Leonard Susskind. Hawking's interest in the origins of the universe deepened following a 1981 conference in Moscow. He then co-organized the Nuffield Workshop on the Very Early Universe, focusing on inflation theory, a major development in cosmology. Perhaps his most profound work came in 1983 with Jim Hartle when they proposed the no-boundary universe model. This model suggested that the universe had no beginning or end in the conventional sense, challenging the very concept of time and space. Hawking's philosophical stance on the universe's boundaries stirred discussions on the existence of God. He suggested that a self-contained universe provided no freedom to choose its beginning, subtly questioning the role of a divine creator. Amid these intellectual pursuits, Hawking decided to write A Brief History of Time, aiming to explain complex scientific concepts to the general public. The book's release in 1988 was a monumental success, making him a household name and a global celebrity. Despite challenges from his medical condition and the pressures of fame, Hawking continued to engage extensively in public discussions and received numerous accolades, including the prestigious Wolf Prize he shared with Roger Penrose. By the end of the 1980s, Stephen Hawking had not only advanced the frontiers of physics, but had also inspired millions with his resilience and unyielding pursuit of knowledge, forever changing how we understand our universe. The 1990s were a decade of significant scientific advancement and increased public engagement for Stephen Hawking. In 1993, he co-edited Euclidean Quantum Gravity with Gary Gibbons, an important work that collated various scholarly articles on the fundamental aspects of black holes and the Big Bang. In 1994, the intellectual partnership between Hawking and Roger Penrose continued to flourish as they delivered a series of profound lectures at Cambridge's Newton Institute. These discussions were later published as The Nature of Space and Time in 1996, offering groundbreaking insights into the fundamental structure of the universe. Hawking's willingness to challenge his own beliefs was evident in 1997 when he conceded a public scientific wager he had made with Kip Thorne and John Preskill of Caltech about the nature of naked singularities. This concession led to a refined bet further exploring the conditions under which such singularities might exist. That same year, another spirited bet was made, this time revolving around the black hole information paradox, a fundamental conflict between the principles of quantum mechanics and general relativity. Hawking and Thorne argued against the possibility that information lost in black holes could ever be recovered, suggesting a potential need to revise quantum mechanics. Throughout this period, Hawking was not only a dedicated scientist, but also a prominent figure in bringing science to the general public. His efforts included the 1992 documentary A Brief History of Time, directed by Errol Morris and produced by Steven Spielberg. The film aimed to make scientific ideas accessible to a wider audience, blending elements from his best-selling book with insights into his personal life. Hawking continued to publish extensively, with Black Holes and Baby Universes and Other Essays in 1993, providing a collection of essays, interviews, and talks that delve deeper into his explorations of the universe. His efforts to popularize science didn't stop there. In 1997, Stephen Hawking's Universe, a 6-part television series and companion book, focused solely on scientific content, demonstrating his commitment to educating the public about complex cosmological concepts. The 1990s solidified Stephen Hawking's status not only as a brilliant physicist, but also as a cultural icon, whose work continued to challenge and expand our understanding of the cosmos. His relentless curiosity and determination to uncover the universe's most profound mysteries inspired countless individuals to look to the stars and question the nature of reality. Entering the new millennium, Stephen Hawking did not slow down, but rather expanded his efforts to demystify the universe for a global audience. In 2001, he published The Universe in a Nutshell, followed by A Briefer History of Time in 2005 with Leonard Mlodinow, refining his earlier works to reach an even broader audience. Hawking's intellectual journey continued with his development of top-down cosmology, starting in 2006 alongside Thomas Hertog at CERN and Jim Hartle. This theory proposed that the universe did not have one unique initial state, but many, a revolutionary idea suggesting that the present selects the past from a superposition of many possible histories. Throughout these years, Hawking remained a public figure, traveling extensively to receive numerous international honors and engaging with diverse cultures and scientific communities. His travels were not just for accolades, but also for fostering a deeper understanding of the universe's mysteries. In 2004, Hawking made headlines with his admission that he had been mistaken about the loss of information in black holes, a pivotal moment that underscored his commitment to scientific integrity. His resolution to the information paradox suggested a universe with multiple histories, some with black holes and some without. Hawking also ventured into children's literature with his daughter Lucy, publishing George's Secret Key to the Universe in 2007, a book aimed at explaining complex scientific ideas to young readers. The series continued with several sequels, expanding his influence to the next generation. Despite his celebrity status, Hawking's debates, such as those with Peter Higgs over the existence of the Higgs boson, kept him at the forefront of scientific discourse. The discovery of the Higgs boson in 2012 at CERN validated Higgs theory, leading Hawking to graciously concede another bet. Hawking's commitment to public understanding of science was evident in his involvement with the breakthrough initiatives in 2015 to search for extraterrestrial life and his work on the documentary Expedition New Earth. He continually pushed the boundaries of what was known and what could be imagined. Until the end of his life, Hawking was engaged in cutting-edge research, with his final paper on the smooth exit from eternal inflation published posthumously in April 2018. His work remains a testament to his belief in the limitless potential of humanity to understand the cosmos. Stephen Hawking's journey was as complex and challenging as his scientific pursuits. In 1962, while studying at Cambridge, he met his future wife, Jane Wilde, at a New Year's party. Despite being diagnosed with motor neuron disease shortly after, the couple engaged in 1964, marrying the following year. This union gave Hawking something to live for during a period when his physical health was rapidly declining. The Hawkings initially lived in Cambridge, close enough for Stephen to continue his work relatively unimpeded by his growing physical limitations. The couple had 3 children, and Jane pursued a PhD in medieval Spanish poetry, balancing her academic aspirations with the demands of her family's needs. As Hawking's condition advanced, the family adapted, with graduate students often helping with his care. This arrangement allowed Jane to pursue her own interests and academic career. However, the marriage faced strains, exacerbated by Hawking's global acclaim and the constant presence of healthcare professionals in their home. By the late 1980s, the marriage was under considerable strain. Jane developed a close relationship with Jonathan Hellier-Jones, a family friend, which became a significant part of her life. Meanwhile, Hawking grew close to one of his nurses, Elaine Mason, leading to his eventual divorce from Jane in 1995 and marriage to Mason shortly thereafter. This period brought new challenges, including allegations of physical abuse by Mason, which were investigated by the police but dismissed at Hawking's insistence. The marriage lasted until 2006, after which Hawking rekindled closer relationships with his first family. Hawking's disability deeply influenced every aspect of his life. Diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21, he was initially given just a few years to live. Despite the grim prognosis, Hawking's mind remained sharp, even as his body declined. Hawking adapted to his disability with innovative technologies. From using a wheelchair to adopting sophisticated computer systems that allowed him to communicate, his approach to overcoming physical limitations was as methodical and determined as his scientific explorations. Despite these challenges, Hawking continued to contribute to both science and public life. He authored children's books with his daughter Lucy, embraced his role as a disability advocate, and even experienced zero gravity, fulfilling a lifelong dream of simulating space travel. Throughout his life, Stephen Hawking inspired millions not just through his groundbreaking work in theoretical physics, but also through his relentless spirit and determination to live a rich and fulfilling life despite his disability. Stephen Hawking's views extended far beyond the realms of theoretical physics, touching on philosophy, humanity's future, religion, and politics. In 2011, at Google's Zeitgeist conference, Hawking declared that philosophy is dead, arguing that philosophers had not kept pace with scientific advances and that scientists had become the torchbearers in our quest for knowledge. Hawking was deeply concerned about the future of humanity, often posing provocative questions to the public. In 2006, he asked the internet, "How can the human race sustain another 100 years?" highlighting potential threats like nuclear war, climate change, and technological advances that might outpace human control. On extraterrestrial life, Hawking believed aliens likely exist, but warned that contact with them could be disastrous for humanity, akin to Columbus' arrival in America. Hawking also feared the implications of artificial intelligence, positing that it could be the best or worst thing ever to happen to humanity, depending on how the risks are managed. Regarding religion, Hawking was a declared atheist, viewing the universe through the lens of scientific understanding rather than religious belief. He famously stated that the afterlife was a fairy story for people afraid of the dark, expressing gratitude instead for the chance to appreciate the universe's grand design. Politically, Hawking was a supporter of the Labour Party and advocated for nuclear disarmament, universal healthcare, and robust action against climate change. He was vocally critical of the Iraq War and expressed concern over the impacts of Brexit on scientific research. Hawking also addressed environmental issues, warning of the irreversible consequences of climate inaction, often criticizing global leaders like Donald Trump for denying the evidence of climate change. In his later years, Hawking supported the concept of a universal basic income and was critical of policies he believed could lead to privatization and the degradation of healthcare systems, particularly the NHS, which he credited with prolonging his life. Despite his health challenges, Hawking's voice remained influential, advocating for peace, scientific progress, and rational thinking until the end of his days. Stephen Hawking's remarkable ability to connect with the public wasn't limited to his scientific publications. He also had a significant presence in popular media. In 1988, he appeared alongside Arthur C. Clarke and Carl Sagan in God, the Universe, and Everything Else, discussing profound topics like the Big Bang Theory and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Hawking's interest in popular culture was vividly illustrated in 1993 when he guest starred as a hologram of himself on Star Trek: The Next Generation. This appearance underscored his love for science fiction and his ability to engage with wider audiences through various entertainment mediums. That same year, Hawking's distinctive synthesizer voice was featured in the Pink Floyd song Keep Talking, blending his scientific persona with the world of progressive rock music. Hawking also ventured into animation, lending his voice to episodes of The Simpsons and Futurama, and making multiple appearances on The Big Bang Theory, showcasing his sense of humor and his cultural resonance. His influence extended into documentaries about his life and work, including The Real Stephen Hawking, Profile, and Hawking in 2013, which offered deeper insights into both his scientific achievements and personal life. In 2014, Hawking was portrayed by Eddie Redmayne in The Theory of Everything, a biographical film about his life. Redmayne's portrayal earned an Academy Award, highlighting the profound impact of Hawking's story on audiences around the world. Even in entertainment, Hawking's contributions were unique. He sang an extended version of the Galaxy song for the Monty Python Live, Mostly show, humorously combining his scientific insights with comedic elements. Beyond entertainment, Hawking used his iconic voice to endorse products, a testament to his ubiquity in popular culture. His voice was even posthumously featured in 2018 on The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio series, proving his enduring appeal. Google honored him with a doodle on what would have been his 80th birthday on January 8, 2022, celebrating his contributions to science and culture and reminding us of his vast influence across different facets of society. Stephen Hawking was not just a scientist, but a cultural icon who bridged the gap between academia and popular media, making his insights accessible and enjoyable for people around the world. Stephen Hawking's contributions to theoretical physics and our understanding of the universe earned him numerous prestigious awards and honors. In 1974, his exceptional work led to his election as a Fellow of the Royal Society. His early work expanded on the pioneering theories of Roger Penrose, establishing fundamental theorems about the nature of singularities and black holes in the universe. Hawking's mastery of new mathematical techniques to explore these phenomena was recognized early on and celebrated throughout his career. His collaboration with G. Ellis on the treatise Space-Time in the Large was particularly noted for its originality and depth. Beyond the Royal Society, Hawking was honored with membership in several other prestigious institutions, including the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the American Philosophical Society, and the United States National Academy of Sciences, recognizing his global influence on science and thought. In 2015, the BBVA Foundation Frontiers of Knowledge Award in Basic Sciences was bestowed upon him and Vyacheslav Mukhanov for their groundbreaking work on how galaxies were formed from quantum fluctuations in the early universe. Hawking's sense of humor and presence were encapsulated at the 2016 Pride of Britain Awards, where he received a Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to science and British culture. There, he famously joked with Prime Minister Theresa May, advising her not to seek his help with Brexit. The Cambridge Union Society, in conjunction with Hawking, established the Professor Stephen Hawking Fellowship in 2017. This fellowship is awarded annually to individuals who have made exceptional contributions to the STEM fields and social discourse, reflecting Hawking's commitment to impacting future generations. Furthering his legacy in promoting science communication, the Stephen Hawking Medal for Science Communication was initiated in 2016 at the Starmus Festival, which Hawking advised. This medal honors artists, musicians, writers, and filmmakers who contribute significantly to the public's understanding of science. The medal itself, bearing Hawking's portrait on one side and an image representing the achievements of both Alexei Leonov and Brian May on the other, symbolizes the intersection of science and the arts, a testament to Hawking's belief in the power of interdisciplinary approaches to understanding and appreciating the universe. Throughout his life, Stephen Hawking not only pushed the boundaries of our understanding of the cosmos, but also strived to inspire others to be curious, courageous, and communicative about the wonders of the universe. His accolades reflect a life lived with relentless pursuit and profound impact. Stephen Hawking passed away on March 14, 2018, at his home in Cambridge at the age of 76. His family announced that he had died peacefully. The world mourned the loss of a brilliant mind whose work had changed our understanding of the cosmos. Tributes poured in from across the globe, encompassing figures from science, politics, entertainment, and beyond. Hawking's private funeral was held on March 31, 2018, at Great St. Mary's Church in Cambridge. The service was attended by close family, friends, and notable figures, including actors who had portrayed him in film, fellow scientists, and admirers from various fields. Although an atheist, the funeral service was Anglican, respecting traditional customs. In a poignant tribute to his contributions to science and humanity, Hawking's ashes were interred at Westminster Abbey on June 15, 2018, between the graves of Sir Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin. His memorial stone bears the inscription, "Here lies what was mortal of Stephen Hawking," and includes his groundbreaking equation on black hole entropy. In one of his final gestures to connect science with the cosmos, Hawking's words, set to music by composer Vangelis, were beamed into space, aimed at the nearest known black hole, symbolizing his enduring wish to reach out to the universe. Hawking's final research papers reflected his ongoing commitment to scientific inquiry even in his last days. His work on black holes, the origin of the universe, and other fundamental questions continued to be published posthumously, maintaining his presence in the scientific community. Stephen Hawking's items, including his doctoral thesis and a specially adapted wheelchair, were auctioned in November 2018, raising substantial sums for charity, underlining his impact on both scientific and humanitarian causes. In recognition of his lifetime achievements, the Royal Mint issued a commemorative 50p coin in March 2019, celebrating his contributions to theoretical physics and cosmology. Stephen Hawking's legacy continues to influence not just the field of theoretical physics, but also the broader dialogue about the challenges humanity faces in the universe. His papers and personal memorabilia are preserved in institutions like Cambridge University Library and the Science Museum, ensuring that his work continues to inspire future generations. Stephen Hawking was more than a visionary physicist. He was a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating unparalleled resilience in the face of motor neuron disease. His profound contributions to our understanding of the cosmos have not only advanced scientific thought, but have also shown that limitations of the body need not restrict the capabilities of the mind. Hawking's life is a testament to the idea that with curiosity and determination, boundaries can be transcended, making him a role model not just for those in the scientific community, but for everyone, especially people with disabilities. He famously said, "Look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there's always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up." These words encapsulate his approach to life and challenge us to think beyond our immediate circumstances, to explore, to question, and to continue striving no matter the challenges we face. Through his achievements, public engagements, and his ability to connect complex scientific principles with a broader audience, Hawking has left a legacy that continues to inspire and ignite curiosity across the globe.